I, Mark Young, caricaturist, solemnly swear on this podcast mic to draw out the laughs, to sketch the BTS magic of weddings, and capture every geeky moment, while Caitlin and George keep me between the margins. I'll do the talking.
I, Cameron Young Magician, solemnly swear on this podcast mic to conjure up wedding wisdom, to make awkward silences disappear, and with Caitlin and George pulling questions out their hat, I'll do the talking.
Yes,
There we go.
But reading the room, I think you mentioned that earlier, maybe, Cammy, but I'm interested to hear about that. How do you read the room for both perspectives? Maybe start with you first, Mark, on that one, because you're fixed. So is there anything you need to do, or do you find that once you start drawing people, is that like an advert enough for people to just constantly flow to you?
Yeah, the only room reading I probably do is for definitely the drinks reception part is at the start, because the drinks reception part, you've just finished the ceremony, mostly everybody should be cold sober, so they've not had a drink. There's no brave people
No
out there.
comment on that.
And you know, there's whereas the evening reception, everybody's had a bit of a drink and they're a wee bit easy to sit down and not as bad as to sit down, because obviously for you to sit there, you're not just sitting in front of me drawing, you're sitting now in front of me and everybody else that's watching, so you're kind of on show, so you've got to have a bit of Dutch courage and a bit brave to do that. So the drinks reception part is I kind of read the room a wee bit. If I've sat there for about 10-15 minutes and everybody's there but nobody's came up yet, that's where I maybe try and, have a bit of a banter with somebody that's there or close by, and you can get a bit of read the room of who's brave enough to sit down, because I know once you get the first person down,
it's a flow,
and you have a good laugh with them and get a good funny drawing happening, then the next person sits down and that's it. They'll just keep on coming, because that's where that time thing's important, because if they've only booked me for that 2-hour period, excuse me, I can only do maybe 10 to 12 people per hour. Yeah. So I suppose I can draw quicker, but the quicker I are, then.
But your craft is much more than just the drawing, isn't it? Though it's the entertainment of watching the drawing. Same with you, Cammy, surely. And do you read? How do you read the room? Do you need to read the room?
I definitely need to read the room. I think I'm probably an art form that needs to do it a lot. So what I do is, on a drinks reception basis, is once I've had the group photo, I'll deliberately go and speak to the bride and groom and congratulate them. But it's not just to congratulate them, it's actually to delay myself 3 or 4 minutes so I don't look like I'm standing about.
Right.
Because I want to get everyone to get a drink and then find their group. Because how it works is they tend to segment off into groups of people. And then
friends,
so
or
friends or family.
Groups.
For the first couple of minutes, they don't do that. So I could go and perform to a little group, but then they all diversify, and then 5 of them could go to 5 different groups, and they're all going to have to watch it again, which isn't always a bad thing.
No.
So I'm also, while they're doing the confetti shot, I'm looking for the loudmouth. So I'm looking for who is the one, that the woman or the guy that's going to shout out or scream or doesn't have a filter, and they're the people I want, because then I'll try and find what group they're in. To be honest, I try and hope that they're all maybe under the age of 40. The reason for it is these guys are going to react more vocally, more elaborately, and so when I get to that group, I'll perform to them and try and do the best stuff I can in the first 5 minutes, so that when they're screaming or shouting or freaking out,
that becomes an advert.
It comes an advert, but 2, also hopefully the bride and groom are still around at that point, so they're going, yeah, we booked the right guy. And also it helps me, so when I go to the next group, they're either going to go, we've been waiting on you, or they make a joke, or they've already been thinking about that pun they're going to say, or you know what I mean. So it just already flows from that.
Doesn't it?
Like I've got the odd one-liner, so I'll walk up and go, "Hi guys, my name's Cammy. I'm a magician. I've been invited along as a surprise from the bride and groom." And I look at them all and I go, "I'm glad I've found the most enthusiastic group ever." And then I look at the one person, I'm like, "I've got 30 seconds to prove to you I'm not crap." And then before you know, you say the few lines. That's it. You've got them, and then they're relaxed, and then you pick on that one person you know is going to be a loudmouth. Or if you've got the Jack the lad that wants to try and rip into you, just put him on a pedestal, because if you put that person on a pedestal, not another person's going to try and do the same, because if you're going for the one that's the loudmouth, everyone else is going to go, well, I'm not going to do it, because if you pick on him, he'll pick on me. And then that's just from experience, but I always try and find the first under 40 age group that's ready, settled, got a pint in hand, got a drink in hand, and I can go and get them, and that makes my life a lot easier.
That's like when you've got the person sitting getting drawn, and there's that heckler. It's the uncle, the drunk uncle that's heckling me and saying, do this, do that. And you're like, listen, mate, I don't come to your job and tell you how to do yours. But then straight after that, you're like, tell you what, mate, how you have a seat now.
You're next.
Because he's the one that's been annoying me, and that's the one where, you know, I maybe I'll exaggerate, but I don't do it to really want to offend anybody. So still draw a funny drawing and, you know, exaggerate and it's a laugh, but I'll still be kind, you know.
That was going to be my next question. Like, do people get offended? Have you had anybody who's
I've
offended?
not had any black eyes yet. So
We're George and Caitlin, a father and daughter team that know weddings inside out. My dad's a humanist wedding celebrant, known as George the Humanist.
And Caitlin's a wedding content creator from her business, Insta Love Story, who, in 2022, I had the honour of walking her down the aisle and then marrying her off.
On each episode of I'll Do the Talking, we're sharing real wedding advice and chatting to industry guests to help plan the day that's right for you.
From ceremonies, gestures and traditions, from flowers, photos, food and family dramas, we'll walk you through it all.
So if you're planning your big day or just love a good wedding story, hit subscribe and join us down the aisle and beyond.
no, I'm usually the drinks reception is it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a more relaxed atmosphere than having the evening reception, to be honest. So they are more enjoyable for me because it's quieter. You can sit, people are nice to have a chat, and it's more of a chat and a laugh, and you don't really get much heckling. So you're drawing, and it usually it's a nice drawing. It's not taking the mick out of them that much, unless they deserve it or they've got something obvious. It's later on at night when you get people annoyed, or you get somebody drawing and they come over to me and then they want me to draw that person with even more of exaggeration and then slip me a tenner or something like that, and then it's like, okay, then fair enough, I'll give it a big giant yes.
Right. I just winded somebody up on properly.
Yeah, I had one up at the Eden Leisure Village, and two guys. They were great. They were the first guys, to be honest, and they were the ones that got the party going, to be honest, which was great to have them both be first. And as soon as they were finished, the two girls sat down, and one of the guys came over and he was like, "Listen, just give them both big giant noses, right?" Slip me a tenner. So you're like, "Oh, right. Well, you've given me your money, so I might as well." These nice, beautiful women have sat down. You're thinking, "I'm going to have to." But everyone's up for a good laugh at night. But I've never had anybody. Nah, no pints thrown over me or punches or anything like that. So it's all been good to laugh. I think they expect it, at least anyway. You know what I mean? It's not like...
I think the art of caricature is by default accentuating someone's features,
it's exaggeration,
You know, so whether it be the big forehead one you showed us earlier. Or,
I mean, that's what I used to do at school. So, I mean, that's how it all started, me just drawing people at school, and I would just take the mick out of my pals. And it was always the big ears and big nose. And unbeknownst to me, that's how started it.
Now, I know you're going to do something for Caitlin and I.
Yes, I was just conscious of time.
Do you want to start doing that now, just as we're chatting away?
Yeah, that's...
and while you're getting set up there, Cammy,
there you go, I'm set up.
Oh, brilliant. That was super easy. Other than your own humour, which you create plenty of, seen you in action many times, have you seen like a funny thing or an unexpected thing that's happened during your part of the day? Maybe not even part of your own craft.
Well, one I remember was they had the owls there once.
Oh, aye.
And I was doing a trick and they got one to fly and land on my shoulder and I crapped myself, honestly. And they thought it'd be funny because I did go across it. I've got an owl tattooed on my neck, right? I really like owls. For some reason, I don't like seagulls or birds or anything like that, but I'm a Harry Potter fan, love owls. So I went across and I petted one, I got to hold it, it was cute. So I'm performing tricks and they deliberately flew it onto my shoulder and I've never jump scared so much and everyone wet themselves laughing.
They're a lot bigger than you think, aren't they? They're massive.
Weigh the ton.
Yeah,
and it was lovely. It was a snowy owl, and I was in my element. But I've never jumped out my skin more in my life. Funny things, I don't really know because I think obviously wedding drinks receptions when they're maybe booking myself, they're trying that I am the entertainment apart from like being a musician or something like that. But I think it's more for me. I've realised something. I worked with a few other magicians in the past. And a lot of these guys, when I'm working, nothing against them, that's just the style they are. They'll walk up and they'll go, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name's whatever. I'm a magician. I'm here to show you." And I'll go, "No wonder they're reserved."
Sure.
I think it's going in with as many bits of banter as you physically can in the first 30 seconds, what maybe takes me apart. Like, again, I've said it again, and it might sound like devaluing, but I genuinely started using this. I took 2 sponge balls, I put one in my hand, I put one in yours, and it swaps places. Mine disappears and lands in their hand. They freak out. Then I take it and I swap it for a foam knob. And I put it in, and I try and find like the 90-year-old granny's hand. I'm not kidding, right? And the eruption of laughter. And people are like, my God, because we're in this modern world.
Yeah.
That takes everything to another level.
Yeah. Of course it
does,
And they'll be talking about that for hours. Like, I'll be hosting the speeches 2.5 hours later, and they'll be going to the bride, you will not believe what they did to Doris.
Yeah.
And I'm still laughing over it. And it's like, I'm going in and realising, right, these guys are human. They're on their day off. They've probably got a busy life.
Yeah.
It's
a bit of escapism, isn't it?
It's a bit of escapism. That's the way it is.
And fun does that, especially on a wedding day, because everyone's in a great mood.
Yeah. I've had one where
after-
I went to record. So when I do the hosting of speeches, at one point I'll bring my phone out and record it, and I had it on the wrong way and it was facing me. And all the staff at Lockside were wetting themselves laughing at me, pointing at me, and I've got it all on camera because they're on the camera thinking I'm recording everything. So it's like, I think every moment, I think the thing about the wedding industry is every group, if people keep saying you're seeing all the weddings, and for me, I'm doing the same tricks every time, and I do add new ones in.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not the tricks that I'm doing, it's the reactions and it's the people. And every wedding's different because of who's there. And I think that's always down to that. Like
I
last
say that
night,
with my scripts and couples, every ceremony I deliver is going to be different because the story's different.
Yeah.
And the capturing stuff is different as well, isn't it?
All the content is very different because of it's personalised to the couple, who's important to them, what's going on in their lives, and what entertainment they have, their friends. Everything is very different for each person. It's whatever means the most to them.
I think it's the people that's there. The people make the weddings as well, and sometimes they might go a bit OTT sometimes, and sometimes they're maybe too relaxed. Like I went to one wedding where I was hosting the speeches, and I walked in, and you would have thought it was an assembly room. It was silent, and I had to make all the jokes to try and get everyone a wee bit. I was like, guys, you're not at school right there. You're standing up napkins. And then you get other weddings where maybe we've had Tartan Entertainments, if you don't know who they are. Big DJ, brilliant at what they do.
Yeah.
And honestly, they've got like everybody up on the tables, and I've done everything from the quietest weddings to the biggest weddings, and I think it's the people that make the wedding what it is. And that doesn't mean the quiet ones are bad, it just means that's their style. That's what the couple want. And like I think I've noticed as well, for me, the most one is the location. Most of the weddings I do in Edinburgh are more civilised or more relaxed. But the weddings I do in Glasgow are like party. I'm not saying every
Glasgow couples then.
Aye, definitely. I think Edinburgh venues tend to be a bit more
classic.
The type of buildings and stuff. Maybe that's the type of clientele. For sure. So, Mark, have you seen anything whilst you're doing your craft or some other piece of entertainment? I mean, have you ever been on a wedding and there's been a magician or another sort of entertainment genre?
Unfortunately not. No, I've not had a magician there because that would have been great. I think, do you know what? I think it's because when I'm there, I'm completely focused. And when I sit down to start drawing, it's one person after the other, after the other, after the other. So all I really remember from sometimes the wedding is sitting down and the people are sitting down in front of me, and then that's it. I can't think of anything that's. I can't think of anything that stands out.
You get in the zone.
And I suppose I'm like that when I draw. When
of course,
when I'm talking about being able to talk and draw at the same time. That's something that that's not easy for me. When I go, I have to remember to have a chat, and it's okay making eye contact and stuff, but
maybe I've worked with countless different people. Like I've singing waiters, caricaturists. I don't think we've worked together yet, but I've worked with live drawing artists, which is maybe slightly different. That's more like actual portraits of people, animals, mini golf companies that are coming in, soft play, bouncy castles. I mean, the list is endless. I think that's just musicians,
does
the
that
gospel
help?
choirs.
Do you find out that beforehand from the couple, or you're just finding out when you arrive?
If I'm hosting the speeches, so how it works with myself is if I'm doing your drinks reception or evening reception, I'll have a quick phone call, catch up, but it's not really. I'm basically there to entertain. That's my job. If I'm hosting your speeches, I'm a big part of the day. I'm pretty much like a wedding coordinator on the day too. So we have like an hour Zoom call. It usually lasts about 45 minutes, but it can be up to an hour where I ask every question I can think of that I need to know from the experience. And then that's when I would say that's when I find out earlier. I find out because I've asked all these questions at that point. But it's great. Most of the time, I tend to know who's already, like when I turn up, I go, it's yourself. Or it's because of doing it so often.
Yeah, you've worked with the same sort of people a lot, ends up being.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had ones where it's just like, and it's great when you know everybody. I think it's actually really good. Like I did a Fife wedding recently, and I'm a Fifer. Don't hold that against me. But there was the Piper I'm friends with. They had Tartan Entertainments, which was brilliant. We had we had the limo guys that are from Fife. Like just everybody. Literally, we were all excited. The photographer was brilliant because we knew him.
Yeah.
Like every single person was like, these are the people we're brought up with. We're all together.
Aye.
And when we had like a little break, which was like just before they were married, we all kind of got to sit back and chat, and we were all set up.
Catching up.
We just caught up, and it was great. And I think sometimes when you've got that, like I get excited when I find out like you're the humanist. I'm like, brilliant, I can go and chat to George afterwards. Or we can, anytime we're doing this, I like it when you can like see the people that you're good mates with. And definitely. I think that's something, if you are like say part of the industry and you're watching this, I think it's genuinely, it's not just the couples that your connection is. I think it's now like your suppliers.
Yeah.
Like in the past month, I've had maybe 7 or 8 bookings, and it's come from suppliers recommending me. And I'm not all like being greedy about saying about getting bookings. It's because we know we work together so well. Yeah. And when we work together, their wedding's going to be so much better because if me and that photographer working together, we've got the banter that we can just throw off each other. It's going to be great.
When you have such a good relationship with the people that you're working with, because at the end of the day, you're a team. You arrive there and you're all working together. You're trying to make the perfect day for that couple. All of the suppliers there are wanting to do the exact same thing. So that's where you kind of join together and, okay, who's the dream team for today?
Yeah.
And when you get along so well and are actually friendly with these people, makes such a difference. Just like
it does.
Knowing them and being able to go, okay, I know that this is what you can kind of anticipate the other suppliers' next moves as well.
That's a great point. It's kind of knowing their styles and their little kind of ways and stuff, you know. And when you don't know them, I know I'm sure you do, is make an effort to kind of get to know them beforehand, whether that's digitally by looking up their pages, or getting there enough time to say I'm such and such and this is what my style is and this is where you can stand or whatever. But it's kind of cool now that, because Caitlin and I are in the industry as well, it's great when we're doing a wedding together. I always say it's bring your daughter to work day, and she says it's bring your dad to work day. But either way, she's at the wedding much longer than me, of course, on that day. But it's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I get to benefit from actually seeing entertainment like yourselves. Well,
exactly.
Well, you get to head off, so I get to benefit from it, which I enjoy.
We're going to. Before we kind of properly get some tips for couples, proper tips, and I know you, Mark, you're busy working away there.
No,
Cammy, maybe you could treat us to a little bit of trickery.
I'm so excited for this.
So this is something I've actually never shared on video before. The reason for it is I do this to close speeches. Now, we've talked a lot about hosting speeches.
Yep.
So this is what I do to close off any speeches on their wedding day.
Okay.
So I ask everyone to get their phones out. So if you guys, I know you're drawn, so you're fine. But open up the calculator on your phone. So imagine we've got 100 people in the room. Everyone's got the calculator, and I get them to hold them above their head so we can all see it. But you don't need to do that.
Okay.
And then I'll ask our newlyweds, whether it's bride, groom, bride, to name a number each. So we'll start. I'm going to get all 3 of you to actually do this today.
Okay.
So we'll start with yourself. Can you give us a 3-digit number?
745.
So put 745 in the calculator.
Okay.
And then press times.
Okay.
And then would you like to give us one? A
A
3-digit?
yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Times 3, 2, 1. And then times again.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a number between 1 and 100?
56.
Times 56. And then equals. Now, for people that are just listening to this, 13392 is the number we got, yeah?
Yep.
Now, there's only one more step. We're going to press the plus button.
Right.
I want to make this number random. Can you have a free hand for 1 second? See on my phone, can you just like hit some numbers? Like go for it.
Just do that?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. That's a bit...
Okay.
You went a bit OTT, but that'll do it. That's fine. Okay. On you go, that's fine. Plus, I'm going to read this out to you. 28 58 934. Now, that couldn't have been any more random if we tried.
5,
Yep.
8, 9. That's a plus. Plus
Yeah,
2, 8.
28 58 934.
Yep.
Right.
Now, it is worth it because you have gave us random numbers, and this was at the end of the speeches, for example.
Yep.
Press equals 16251 054, yeah?
Okay.
Yep.
So imagine this was a wedding, and I could say this at this moment. I'm closing off the speeches on the 1st of the 6th, 25, your wedding day at exactly 10:54 in the morning. This is the exact moment we're recording this podcast and at this exact time.
That's amazing. And we can zoom in here. It is absolutely.
Obviously, I know the podcast is coming out after this, but that is
Yeah.
basically showing that what you can
Okay.
do. And that close off the speeches. And ladies and gentlemen, my name's been Cameron Young. It's been a pleasure being your host. And I'm finishing off the speeches on the 1st of the 6th, 2025 at exactly 10:54 in the...
That is
That's-
unbelievable.
Wonderful. Oh, brilliant.
And that at the moment, like obviously I've been going around showing some really cool things, doing the tricks that I've always done. A lot of my stuff happens in their hands. It's a bit of banter. But that kind of just sums it all up. And if I'm obviously just doing your drinks reception, I perform that a few times while I'm going around. If I'm booked just to host the speeches, I never perform that until that moment.
Hi,
But
I'm
when-
Mark Young from Geeky Ink Caricatures,
And I'm Cameron Young from Cameron Young Magic.
and today we have been sponsoring I'll Do the Talking.
So go ahead, help George and Caitlin out, get the likes, get the shares, get the comments going, because this podcast is amazing and it's going to help you in the wedding industry. Explaining it, and then you get one eruption, and then sometimes I'm getting a standing ovation at weddings from like all the guests, but it's probably not just for that trick, it's been for everything I've done
Yeah.
throughout the day. And it's killer. It's good fun.
Absolutely.
That is
yeah.
amazing.
But the question we need to ask, Cammy, do you have your sponges with you?
I don't.
Oh.
They're in the, well, I do. They're in the car for today's wedding. But no, it's good. Again, it's just something I added, and I think I've realised recently, because we're in such a modern world, that it's making the tricks adaptable to modern world, because people are, again, as you said, they're in this little bubble at that wedding. They're not at their work. They're not at this, but they're still the people they are when they're at work with their pals, when they're having a laugh. And especially, I think, in Glasgow, Ayr, that kind of stuff. Not every wedding I'm saying there, but a lot of the weddings there, they're wanting a party. So me doing these funny tricks, yeah, it's been good. And there's drinks reception seems to be the thing that just seems to be. I don't think magic. Everyone keeps saying that it comes in like waves. Where they were saying, like, with a lot of suppliers, where there's 2 years where singing waiters will be the biggest thing, and then they'll die out a wee bit, and then they'll come back and they'll die out a bit. But I think of what I've realised recently is with magic, because there's not as many magicians as there maybe is singing waiters, or there is maybe caricaturists. I don't actually know that. That's a genuine, I don't know the answer to that. But because there's maybe like only 10 of us doing it professionally just in Scotland, there's thousands up and down the UK,
Wow.
but just in Scotland, there's maybe 10 of us doing it properly. And then 5 of us are actually doing it as a full-time career. There's maybe 2,000 weddings on every weekend, and there's only 5 to choose from. So there's always seems
Yeah.
to be work, and there's always weddings going on, which
Yeah.
is brilliant.
Yeah.
So if that's not an advert in itself to say, and just a reminder for people, see when they say that your date is available there and then, book your date in there and then, because there's not a lot of people doing it. So.
So, Mark, I know you're going to reveal the picture in a few seconds, a minute or so, but before we do that, what tips have you got for couples about kind of preparing to book a caricaturist, considering a caricaturist?
Yeah, I think the main tip is that, well, I suppose it's understanding what a caricature artist actually is, and knowing that it's not just sitting and drawing a picture and that's it for your guests. It's about a wee bit of entertainment as well. So
Yeah.
they're not just booking somebody to come along and just draw pictures. You're booking somebody to entertain their guests for that period of time, and and make sure that the guests leave that wedding with a bit of extra memory for the day. But in terms of booking, there's, if I think about uniqueness, there's not a lot of caricature artists in Scotland.
Yeah.
And even though kind of can travel anywhere in the country, I suppose, or abroad if they want to pay me to go abroad.
Destination drawings, I like it.
But yeah, so there's not a lot of us in Scotland. So, if you're looking for a caricature artist, there's not a lot of us. So if you want to inquire and you've got a date and I'm available, it's like, well, get back as soon as possible, because the next day I could have somebody in for the exact same date. And like we were talking earlier on about specific dates and summertime being busy, you can get booked up very, very quickly. And the last thing you want is to get a quote and think it's great and want to go ahead with it, but not get back enough time. And then when you finally decide to get back, I'm already booked up. It means then you're back to square one. And if you think about when we planned our wedding, there was a lot to plan, and there was a wish list, and you wanted to make sure you got it. And I take the thing that, I'm on the wish list, and you just don't get round to booking enough, like quick enough, and then you'll miss out on that time. So just get booked in as early as possible. That's about it. I mean, we tend to do more of the questions, I suppose. When somebody inquires, it's usually as it comes back. It comes back and has loads of questions to make sure that, you know, I can do what you want, this is what I can offer, all that. And all that information's on my website as well. But they just maybe want that wee bit of a personal touch, their phone call or an email, you know, just to clarify anything.
So before we get a final wee trick from Cammy, we're all intrigued and excited to see what the big reveal from you, Mark, is with
No problem
your
at all.
drawing
So
of Caitlin and I.
Right, you ready?
I am.
2, 1.
Love it.
Yeah. Like it.
That is good. That is good. Like the podcast mics in there as well.
That has to get
get the
framed
logo,
and in the
get the mics.
background.
Then when I do it, at the weddings, you maybe don't get all the wee extras in there as well. But,
Yeah.
so there you go. So you get to keep that as well.
Fantastic. Wonderful.
So
Wow.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that after.
My poor wee head.
Thank you so much.
I think it was not a bit of a cheating, but the benefit is I kind of know you a wee bit better. So there's a wee bit of memory in there as well from doing it.
Exactly. That's brilliant.
That's
I can
great.
see. Yeah.
Thank you.
Even get Caitlin's hairband in.
I know.
Should be, and our nose
My
ring as
eyebrows
well.
look-
These are the
I
details.
know, it's the details.
These are the details that really
Well, that's
matter
it.
the most.
I mean, it's very, you know, like I said, not a bit of cheating, but obviously I know you from the past, so I kind of know what you look like and everything as well. And you know, we've met lots and lots of times beforehand, so it's a lot more different when you're sitting and you've got somebody that sits down you don't know from diddly squat, so you've got to very quickly, you know, pick a couple of things, and you know, if it's the nose, if it's the ears, or if it's a bald head. Bald guys are great because it's like.
Okay. Point
If it
taken.
was bald people, you could draw. When I say I could do 10 to 12 people, see if they were all bald, it'd be about 20. Because there's no hair or anything.
No hair, you can
The worst
see.
thing is when you've got beautiful women with hair and hair bands and all that kind of stuff. And then what you mainly do is that was done, and then I'm sitting looking at you and then realised you had a nose piercing, and then you're
there you
like,
go.
jeez.
Better at that.
And that
Sneak
can
in.
happen. You know, sometimes you can do that drawing, and then all of a sudden you
So
go to do
obvious
the
you
reveal,
didn't
and you
see
look
it.
at them and you go, sugar, forgot the big tattoo you've got splattered on your face. So
And Cammy, over to you. You're going to give us a wee wrap-up trick.
Right, let's finish off with this then. These cards here, I've got numbers on the back between 1 and 52. Do you know why that is?
52 cards in a deck.
52 cards in a deck of cards, and as you can see, just in case you think I am cheating, which I am, they're all different. So I want to try this. I want you to both think of a number between 1 and 52.
Okay.
But so you both don't pick the same number. Caitlin, is your number odd or even?
Even.
Can you make yours odd then?
Okay.
Because it makes me look better than I am if you choose the same number.
I
Okay.
like how long it took you to decide if that was
So
it or
let's
even.
try
I know, I really
Um,
couldn't think then.
So you said you had an even one, you got an odd one. As long as you didn't go to the same school as me, they should be different, okay? On the back, they're all different numbers between 1 and 52. Mm-hmm. So if I go for the 10 of spades, which is my guess, I'm going to commit to that before anything happens.
Okay.
For the first time, what number were you thinking of?
42.
42.
Yep.
Now I said 10 of spades, you said 42.
Yep.
And every card has a different number on the back. So if I go down here to number 42 and turn it over, 42 is the 10 of spades. I just have to show you. Like every card's got a different number. You could have went for any one you wanted. I said 10 of spades, you said 42. This is a boring bit trying to find it. But eventually when we get
I'll do
there,
it like caricature while you're doing it.
there's 42 and that was the 10 of spades.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll try this again. Let's go with the 3 of hearts. What was your number?
17.
17 it is. Like I'll show you. If you go down here to number 17, it is the 3 of hearts. But we're going to go to another level after this. I just want to show you that I'm right, okay? I said 3 of hearts, then you said 17. 17 is the 3 of hearts. But you know what? You went 17. I'm going to change it. I'm going to go for number 37. That's my guess. Number 37. Now in a deck of cards, you've got 52 different ones. Don't go for the 10 of spades or 3 of hearts because that's their cards.
Okay.
But I've committed to 37.
Okay.
Name a playing card.
6 of clubs.
Do you know the funny thing is, right? If we go through here to the 6 of clubs, every card's got one number on the back. So if we turn over the 6 of clubs on the back of the 6 of clubs, it should be number 37, just in case you pick it.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I'll be sitting in the car for an hour after this going, right.
What the
I
hell?
know,
is
how
there?
on earth? Oh,
call
that
it a
is
wasted
great to
childhood.
see.
Oh, brilliant.
Absolutely not. Well, it's to our entertainment, so we appreciate it.
Absolutely. It just goes to prove, though, that if people are doing their homework, they should do more homework
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
they think
yeah.
they need to do, and just make sure it's right for them as a supplier, isn't it, Caitlin?
Yeah, absolutely. And then last question I've got for you is, would you ever swap roles with each other? Do you think you could swap roles?
Absolutely. Oh, well, that was a two-part question, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
whether you could or not, I guess, is not the important thing.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to do magic, yeah. And could I do it? Oh, after some good practice, long practice, I could probably do a few tricks.
Okay.
Definitely.
Cammy, what about you? You got an artistic
None
hand? You know?
whatsoever.
No.
Like my girlfriend, she's very artistic. She's a nail artist at a very high end place, and when we're in the house and when we're in the flat, she is very, very OCD around the house. And it doesn't matter how long I try and make that bed, it still doesn't look anything like she does it, right? So I think I just don't have it, man. I remember once a guy tried to get me to draw a candle, and he just literally showed me how to do it, and I just could not copy it, no matter what. I just don't have the finishing touch. Yeah, so I'll stick to the deck of cards, I think.
Well, thanks very much for coming along, guys. It's been a pleasure having you on the I'll Do the Talking podcast. I'm sure the watchers and listeners will find lots of top tips to make their day even more magical in and around that drinks and evening reception part. As is customary, give yourselves a wee plug. Where can people find you? Details, so Mark?
Cool. So you can find me on wait, the camera, www.geekyinkcaricatures.co.uk.
And Cammy?
Scottish magician, so either cameronyoung.co.uk, and you can find me there.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Thanks for joining us on this episode. I've been George.
I'm Caitlin.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.